All right, shalom, shalom.
All right, shalom.
First and foremost, we would like to give all praises, honor, and glory and worship to
Yahweh,
Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Kadash, the abundance of the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Greetings and salutations to you, Akim, that are pushing the word in truth, likewise sincerity. This is your brother Yaikwad.
Brother Shamak.
We are disciples, we're students out of the Great Millstone Atlanta Church. Once again with a lesson of exhortation, likewise edification through the spirit of prophecy of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. All right, so we're going to be discussing the Brexit exit, right? The British or the Great Britain's exit of the EU, the European Union, which has just finalized something that's been going on for roughly 11 months, I believe, in the making.
Yep.
So we're going to jump into the article, or should we jump right into a precept and then touch the article? Okay, Khan, you had something.
Nah, we get that Daniel. Was that Daniel?
Okay, Khan, you got Daniel on deck. Yeah, and we're gonna.
I got it.
We're going to start off with the prophecies of because these things were written aforetime.
Right.
They're prophecy of the end days and how things are going to articulate and manifest. Mm-hmm. You can go ahead, brother.
This is Daniel chapter 2, verse 42. Mm-hmm. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken.
Right, partly. In the kingdom, this is speaking of the revival of the Roman Empire, which is speaking of NATO EU. Mm-hmm. All right, partly strong because, yes, they have military might, they have influence. Yep. They have a great system of propaganda, economic system, a great economic system, a powerful economic system. Yep. But they're not unified as ancient Rome once was. And likewise, certain provinces are weaker than others. Yep. So you had something to speak on?
Yeah, we do the Revelations also too. Mm-hmm. With Daniel chapter 2, the prophecy being fulfilled. That iron is spoke about with Daniel chapter 7 and 8. That's how we know it was referring to kingdoms, man. This thing is historical prophecy. All right, so this thing is not to be taken lightly. That's why we're bringing it out now for edification's sake and to show the people that the scriptures of the Bible, spoke on these very same things. This is Revelation chapter 17, verse 16. This reads, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire."
Okay.
So yeah, like the brothers just mentioned with the revived Roman Empire, this NATO is now broken up. It's showing, we should bring up this current event now with Britain leaving NATO. Okay, and I'm gonna just bring out the article too, cause this is an update just happened today, right? I want to say today, correct. January 31st, 2020. Correct. 2020 being the year of prophecy. So we know things are going to be pushed heavily. We don't know what exactly, but we know the prophecy is going to be pushed, man.
You can read that again, Baba Bashar?
This is Revelation chapter 17, verse 16. Uh-huh. "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast."
10 horns is speaking of NATO and EU.
Yep.
All right. It's essentially the European Economic Community, the founding nations of the EU or the European Economic Community.
Right.
All right.
It started off as 10.
Correct.
I'll just read, and the article touches on what is the European Union, and I'll read it. It says the EU is an economic and political union involving 28 European countries. Mm-hmm. So it's up to 28 now, over the years. And it says it allows free trade, which means goods can move between member countries without any checks or extra charges. The EU also allows free movement of people to live and work in whichever country they choose. So that's like their own alliance. They're working together, man. But the scriptures speak about kingdom divide, Satan divided within Satan. How long shall he stand, man? Mm-hmm. These are devils that rule the world, man. The white man, you're in a white man's heaven, which is the black man's hell. Hell for the Israelites of today, the Black, Spanish, and Native Americans, man. Mm-hmm. This is hell. This is not our rest. All right. That's how you get prophecy fulfilled. Then the kingdom is going to come, man. That's why it's important to bring out the prophecies, to bring out that we're at the time that we're in. We're in the last days, man. All right. You can go ahead whatever you had to bring out something.
You keep reading that in Revelations.
Yeah, Revelation chapter 17, verse 16. Mm-hmm. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore.
Yep, and the 10 horns, as the brother has already alluded to, are the founding nations of the EU. All right. Now, we don't say the 10 horns is NATO because NATO includes America. All right. So NATO will be basically, essentially, the beast that it sits on the whore. All of those combined. Go ahead, brother. Baba Shah.
And shall make her desolate and naked.
So read that that part right before it again.
It says, these shall hate the whore.
They shall hate the whore. Why are they going to hate the whore? Why are they? And the whore is speaking of America, the United States of America, which is Babylon the Great. And they're hating the whore because of their economic sanctions. They're bullying them and
Unrighteous decrees, utilizing them as vassal states. Ever since World War II, America has utilized primarily the European nations as vassal states, and it's only magnifying itself day by day, especially with DJ Trump in office. All right. Because, of course, they don't want them to do the business with Russia. They don't want them to do business with Iran because those are their enemies. But they have common interests with Russia and Iran, economically speaking. Right. So they don't want that. So they want to do business with them. But America is trying to prevent them from, doing as they please, And it's going to only amplify. Right.
You can go ahead, brother.
And it reads, and shall make her desolate and naked.
Right, because when those missiles hit America, those European nations, Great Britain, France, Germany, so and so
Turkey,
on. Turkey, because the Turks are Edomites.
Yep.
They're not included in the EU, but they are Edomites, and they likewise will be shooting their arsenal over into America. Okay, these nations, because of America's pride in their hypocrisy and their boastful activity, they will suffer nuclear missile annihilation by the hands of these countries, which has been ordained by Yahweh Shem Yahshua from aforetime.
Yep.
You can finish that up.
And shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
Which is through the nuclear missiles. Yep. Okay, you had any more on the article? That was good.
Yeah, let me. I'm trying to get straight to the point. You can bring something out.
Okay, come. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 14, and it reads. It says, "And it shall be as the chase roe." And chase roe. Okay, it shall be as a chase roe. And as a sheep that no man taketh up, which is because it's a bloody, defiled sheep. That's what it's comparing this to. It says, they shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land. Right. And so these nations are turning to themselves. All right. Because they see, especially with what's taking place in different countries, all right, especially America and what's inevitably what's going to take place in America, they see that being joined to America is no hope.
Right.
There's no hope.
Yeah.
All right. And concerning the Brexit, Great Britain does not want to be economically tied to the European Union, to European nations. One, because their economy is inevitably about to fall. Right. Likewise, you have several other European nations that are weaker economically speaking, as well as military speaking, to be honest, than Great Britain, which Great Britain has to carry the burden of. Yep. So they don't want to have to tend to those calamities and to those necessities of those other nations.
Yeah, just to back up your point, the article touches on what you just mentioned. Is from Russia Today's News. It's subtitled. It's actually titled. The article is titled from January 31st, 2020. A pivot to China, a stronger economy, or a total collapse. And we know as being men of the Lord, the economy is going to collapse. That famine is going to come upon the earth, man. And then the implementation of the RFID chip, it's going to collapse, man. We just brought out an article. I think Russia and China mentioned that they mentioned one of those scholars from Russia and China mentioned that the total collapse, the U.S. dollar can collapse this year.
Yeah.
You know, and U.S. being a great whore that we're speaking of, that's going to impact the entire world.
Absolutely.
That's not just going to impact the U.S. It's not just going to impact the hood. No, bro, it's going to impact the entire world. That's why Britain leaving off. You know, they're openly saying, man, we're not with the program. That we can openly come against you, and they basically grabbing their nuts, man. You know, and agreements are gonna have to be made within the EU, and that's gonna begin off of many countries just drawing away. That's probably just gonna be the break off right there. You know, but hey, we'll see what happens. You know, we'll stay watchful as prophets ought to do. You know, but yeah, you keep going.
Okay, that was the point on that. Let me see here. I'm gonna grab a precept in Revelations chapter 18. Now this is concerning, specifically speaking, this is concerning when the nations are going to decimate America with the missiles. But the point that I'm trying to pull forth from it and to emphasize is to support what the brother has been saying, that because of America connection and liability, which coincides with the other nations, economically speaking, if America falls, that's going to tremendously hinder and cause calamities, economically speaking, for the other nations of the earth, because America is the primary consumer. All right? So I'm going to start at, this is Revelation chapter 18, verse 11. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, over America.
Right.
For no man, and you can get in on this out, it says, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thin wood and all manner of vessels of, I believe, that old English verbiage, I believe it's ivory, if I'm not mistaken. It says, and all manner of vessels of most precious wood, and of brass, and iron, and marble, and cinnamon, and odors, and ointments, and frankincense, and wine, and oil, and fine flour, and wheat, and beasts, and sheep, and horses, and chariots. And because in dealing with those horses and chariots, a lot of what America's economic, just concerning America's, from an export perspective, a lot of these nations buy their military arsenal, okay, from America. Okay, just connecting that with the chariots and the horses, as far as their planes, their tanks, their Humvees.
And the EU got a lot of agreements with the thermonuclear missiles and stuff. They got a lot of agreements like, oh no, you can't do that. You know, America try to put sanctions like, man, these countries, that's part of them hating the whore. They're gonna do what they want, man, because they're gonna become their spirit. The Lord's gonna put the spirit in these nations to hate each other, man.
Right.
He's like, man, we forget what you talking about, because they've been sold on bullshit. Yeah. You know, the Revelation. I just get the precept real quick, if I can.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
This Revelation chapter 18, verse 16. It reads, and I started 16, and it says, "And saying, alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen, and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls." Because you know what? What is America looked upon as of today? The American dream. It's so perfect. Every nation is over in America, man. That's why this place is gonna get. This is why it's Babylon the Great, man. Every nation is learning English. There's part of the Edomites, man, taking over.
Yeah.
You know, every nation wants to do what America is doing. Everything, man. Rap music, to dressing. You know, that everything is becoming a Western mindset. You know, going more into that monogamy. You know,
democracy,
the voting system. Yeah. Everything is fed off America. America has influenced the world, man. You know, that's why these things are not to be taken lightly. And America's damn sure not to be taken lightly, especially in the time of judgment. All right, it's verse 17. For in 1 hour, because remember the day of the Lord. I mean, the America's gonna be destroyed. You know, in 1 hour, man. You know, so it's gonna be quick. These things, judgment's gonna come quick.
Correct.
All right. Verse 17 says, "For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city?" Because they're gonna be shocked that America is going to be destroyed, and they're going to be shocked when the dollar collapses because the economy is going to just take a crash. Yeah. You know, with that Dow, if I could
630.
Man, he just dropped 600 points. That was today. Yeah. And the other day, it dropped 400. That's 1,000 in 1 week. Yeah. You know, and if I can find it, I can find it, I'll find it.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
But you go.
Yeah. And as the brother was elaborating in Revelation, it's the 18th chapter. Let's see. It says.
Okay, if I can quickly, the meaning of those Dow points too that we're mentioning, you know, that's really going into how less and less valuable things are becoming. So that's basically showing that the economy is truly that it is truly crashing. 1,000 points. You know, if I can get the scale, because I don't know what's the scale on how many points it truly is, but if I can find
stock market is wicked anyway.
Yeah, the stock market.
The foundation.
But these are coming less and less valuable, man. You know, that's 1,000 that's a lot of points. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot of that. It's falling. That's how you know it. That's how you know it's falling, man. This economy is falling. And to trust in this economy, you're just being delusional. You know, you're just deceiving yourself at this point because you're not taking heed to the prophets. You're not taking heed to what we're bringing out. You know, with this prophecy update of Britain leaving the European Union. Okay.
And people don't consider that. The normal American, black or white, doesn't consider that as something that has to do with them personally. Right. You have to understand this world is interconnected. Just like how when the coronavirus happened in China,
it's happening.
It is happening in China. Yeah. It's spread everywhere because this world is an internationally connected world. Mm-hmm. So it's not like 100 years ago a disease can happen in a certain country and to be isolated to that region or that country. Mm-hmm. No, that the coronavirus is in America. Right. And a lot of you people are about to perish because of it. Mm-hmm. You know? And that's the same thing dealing with what's taking place economically speaking, right, with the EU. You know, politically speaking with the EU, with Britain leaving the European Union. Yep. You know, that has a direct and indirect effect on our livelihood and your livelihood in America.
Yep. And that goes to the precept you brought up. They're gonna do their own thing, man. They're gonna do their own. They're gonna do their own thing, man. They're gonna rely on themselves because they lost the trust in America. And that's part of hating them because they showing that they don't trust. They don't trust the system that they once built or once was a part of. You know, and that's great for our eyes because that's prophecy, man. And that's showing that we're a day and a time closer for our Lord coming back. Because that's what it's all about. That's how we diligently. That's what Apocrypha in 2 Ezra chapter 9 speaks about. Mm-hmm. That's how we measure the time. Like, okay, this happened. Okay, bet. That we refer to Daniel chapter 2, Revelation chapter 17, and we bring it out, man. You know, and Lord willing, you know, we the sincere believers take heed. You know.
I got a quick one. This is Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 44. Behold, everyone that useth proverb shall use this proverb against thee, saying, as is the mother, so is her daughter. Mm-hmm. Right. Thou art thy mother's daughter, that loatheth her husband and her children, and thou art the sister of thy sisters, which loathe her husband. Mm-hmm. And the children of the mother was the Hittite, and the father an Amorite. Well, this is going into that's it. This is going into Israel, but that also dealing with verse 44. That also coincides based off a principle that coincides with America and Britain. Yeah. All right, and Britain, Great Britain, you have dealt very treacherously with the nations of the earth. All right, we have not forgotten about the era of the British Empire and your debauchery and your hypocrisy and the wicked act that you have perpetuated. And America has continued a lot of that same degenerate behavior, just on a more great scale. Yep. You know, so you're basically you're receiving because Great Britain, you have sown America. You sold America. Spain, France, European nations, y'all sold America. And so now you're about to have to reap that corruptible seed, but the seed was corruptible.
Yeah.
So when the fruit has been bared, now you have to receive that corruptible fruit, and that's the United States of America.
Yeah, I got the same chapter. Just going, starting up a few verses. It's Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 37. This is my last one too. It reads, "Behold, therefore I will gather all thy lovers with whom thou hast taken pleasure, and all them that thou hast loved, and all them that thou hast hated. I will even gather them around about thee against thee, and will discover thy nakedness upon them, that they may see all thy nakedness." So these other countries, like Britain, for an example of today, they see the bullshit, man. They're not going for it anymore. They it's time for them to do their own thing, stand on their own toes, man. And divide this thing and fulfill prophecy. Verse 38, "And I will judge thee as a woman that break wedlock and shed blood are judged, and I will give thee blood and fury and jealousy. And I will also give thee into their hand, and they shall throw down thy enmity place, and shall break down thy high places. They shall strip thee also of thy clothes, and shall take thy fair jewels, and leave thee naked and bare." And what do you see Britain doing, man? They leaving, man, and that's gonna hurt America. Even though America is not gonna be portrayed in the media as being hurt, but they are. We understand the true. The true essence of America right now, man. They losing power when allies of countries that was once your lovers. They took pleasure. They accepted your trades. They accepted your agreements, your sanctions. And now they're like, man, forget it, man. They're coming against it because the Lord put that spirit on them, and that's fulfilling these scriptures that we were speaking about, man.
Right. And I have a precept to back the brother up, because for whatever took place for Israel, also is taking place for the Israelite enemies.
They gotta feel it,
and that's what's taking place now. And I'm gonna back this up. This is Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7. It says, "And Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee." So that's what you see taking place as the brothers reading that prophecy. That prophecy also applies to you Edomites, man, because the curses are coming upon your head, man. All right? Thus say Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua B'Shem Ruchakadash, man.
Right, because that prophecy, those prophecies happened to us when First Kings chapter 17, when we had wicked rules, man. Northern Kingdom came against the Southern Kingdom. Yeah. You still see it today, man. We just hate our own people, man. You got Mexicans thinking they're not related to us Negroes. Yeah. Like, no, man, this is part of the curses though. But the Lord is bringing us back through the scriptures and being anointing the men of the Lord. Yeah, right. Simple as that. Not rocket science, man. Yeah.
You're coming back for the elect, man. This thing is about the elect. Yeah. We just hope and pray and beg and plead and, sincerely that we are of that number, man. We really, really hope that we are of that number. And Lord willing, our works are adequate enough to be considered of that number, man. So that's all I had, brother.
That's all, just to bring out that prophecy update, real quick through the spirit. Because we gotta stay on these things, man. This is a 2020 year of prophecy. So it's only right that we stay up to date on what's going on in the news. Cause we are the true news. The news, they not telling you what's really going on or how it's gonna happen. Right. They're not telling you, but we are. The low men of the earth, the poor of the earth, but we are rich in faith, So you got it.
Absolutely. So Britain has left the EU. One more prophecy check down in the books.
Right, that's true.
In the year of prophecy, as it has been coined. So we're gonna give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua B'Shem Ruchakadash. Once again, double unto the elders and the apostles and their elders that have well and do well.
That's right.
And we're gonna say shalom to Yakin. All right.
Shalom.
Shalom, and keep the faith, man. Keep the faith.
Abba, Abba.
Abba, Abba. Kwan Bachaya.